It's an amazing place we've got here, obviously very close to the sea. So I think it's really healthy for the horses. You've got the sea air. Just a really nice, I think, relaxed atmosphere. Something a bit different, isn't it? We've got a private beach right on our doorstep. You get a lot of horses come here who can be a bit nervy horses, and as soon as they come here, they just seem to relax really well. I think our main asset though is our gallops. We've got the most amazing gallops. Any jockey that comes here my eyes will tell you it is. I mean, our ram gallop's probably similar sort of size to Willie Mullins, and we've also got the big hill. Yeah, I would say probably some of the best facilities in the country.
It's a lovely view for your office job, isn't it? So I've been here for the last 12 years, and you forget sometimes how beautiful a place it is to work, really.
So it's always been a dairy farm, my dad's dairy farm, and I slowly started taking little bits of it over. Started with a little bike shed with a few horses starting off, and we've just slowly, the more successful we've been, just slowly expanded and built more sheds, more gallops, and it's all gone from there really. It was show jumping that I always loved, and so I did that to quite a high level as a kid. And it was only really from that show jumping that I then wanted to have a little go riding and point to point. It's never to be a jockey, but I just wanted to have a go at it, which I did, and I won. So yeah, that's really what moved me into racing, I suppose. Obviously Dad, he had a lot of nice land, a nice farm. It seemed silly for me to think of training anywhere else, and I just loved the area, so I'd never move. In terms of training down the line, it wasn't something I really considered early on, so I suppose going to the likes of Peterborough early, I probably didn't take too much notice of the training side. You don't just go there and work and you're young. And the same then I went off to America, I think when I was 21, just because I wanted to travel. That was all totally different to here. It's working on the tracks, Santa Anita, Hollywood Park and Del Mar. So it was first Richard Mandela, and then I worked for Dan Hendricks. Sadly, my mum got stomach cancer at the time, so I did come back, obviously, for the family and things. And then when I was home here a good while because of that, it was, I don't know, I just decided not to go back then. I'd done 5 years out there, and it was working out then what I was going to do here. I wanted to do a career with horses. I say racing's the only thing you can make money out of, but it is tough training. I wouldn't say there's lots of money in that, but I think more so you can make a business out of it better than probably trying to do show jumpers or dealers and things like that. So it seemed to make sense to do training here then, when Dad had a great farm that we could build on. So I went over for a week with, well, not even a week, actually a few days, just to have a look at Paul Nolan's place. I wanted to look at a couple of training places in Ireland. And at the time he said to me, oh, you need to just get going with a few old handicappers, try and get some wins. So I bought Mango Catcher off him, who I think he'd won a couple for Paul in Ireland, but could probably do with a change of scenery. Yeah, our first runner was, I think, Kempton. I was absolutely gutted. We finished second. Thought we'd had it won, and I think Richard Johnson nabbed us on the line with something. But then he did go on to win his second race then in Chepstow. First ever ran a Mango Catcher at Kempton. I happened to be interviewed, and out the blue I had Mark Sherwood, who was my first ever owner then, rang me and said, oh, I have a couple here, would you take them that probably need a change of scenery? I heard you've got this farm and you're young and ambitious. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I took those two and they both won, and yeah, it just sort of built from there then, I guess. I had success quite quick, I think, really, for starting off. A lot of them did win, and I think a few people noticed that, and I was lucky then that we did get sent quite a few horses early on. AP was riding for me at the time, and rode quite a few winners, so anything he would like then he'd suggest to JP to buy. So yeah, and then thankfully with that then we were able to invest then in more facilities, more horses, more winners, and it's all just goes from there then, I guess, doesn't it? T for 3, I think, is probably my most emotional Cheltenham Festival win, I think, just because it was my first one and so early in my career, I suppose. So no, that was very special. People that love those 3-mile staying chasers, don't they, which T3 was. And he was the most fantastic jumper as well. Probably one of the best jumpers we ever had, I think, T3. He was like on springs. I know AP used to love riding him. It's under on long ones, but no, he's brilliant T3 and just so tough. He stayed so well, travelled so well. He was just the perfect 3-mile chaser, really. I think he was the only one I actually cried at Fisher's Cross. He was funny because I think he failed 2 vettings and a sail, which is how I managed to buy him. Charlie Swan had him before he'd win a bumper, and I think they even called him Flipper, it is, because he used to fall over and things like that. He had really bad knees, a bad back, always a horse with loads of ability. So, no, I feel proud of what we did with him. He won 6 in a row. He won at the Cheltenham Festival, the Albert Bartlett. He won the Sefton Grade 1 at Aintree the same season. And I think year after year then he was always placed in sort of World Hurdles and a lot of the Grade 1 3-milers. Just lucky we got what we did out of him, it was great. Our Phelan's Boy was a great horse. Actually one horse I thought from the start would have been a Gold Cup horse. He won the RSA that year, but again, shame with him. He always had quite bad wind problems. The year he won the RSA was quite quick ground. He picked up a leg that year, so he missed a full season and he never really came back. The same sort of horse, so it was just a shame with him. He never probably reached his full potential, I don't think. Irish Cavalier. I know Paul Townend used to absolutely love him. I think he's one of his favourite horses, Irish Cavalier. But he was great, he was a funny horse. You'd think he was a 3-miler, but he didn't just get the 3-mile. He won novice handicap chase at Cheltenham and he won the Charlie Hall then, which was probably the only time we did just get the 3 miles in that race when it mattered. But no, he was absolutely brilliant. Lisnago Oscar. It's funny really how he ended up winning the Stayers Hurdle because we bought him originally to be a nice, obviously 3-mile chaser. He won the Grade 2, I think, in Haydock before going for the Albert Bartlett. Ran really well in the Albert Bartlett. I think he was 5th. But knowing how well he stays, you should probably have ridden him a bit more handily. Haydock, I think he was 2nd in a Grade 2. We sort of knew he was back. And then, I don't know, just in great form. And he's qualified for the Pertemps and a couple of the owners went, you know, he's probably well handicapped, no run him in that. But I just had a feeling that he'd go really, really well in the stay. I thought he'd win it for some reason, I don't know why. And yeah, we won. You've got absolutely no pressure when you're going there with a 50 to 1. And nice as well, because you kind of, I don't know, we were always the underdog in a way, aren't we, with big price winners like that. But at the same time, you would much rather be going to the festival with a short price favourite because I suppose it gives you a better chance, doesn't it? But equally, they're both as good. And I am very lucky I've had horses like that. It's what I love doing, putting all my attention into a good horse rather than having, I don't know, 100 horses. I think if you have 100, probably only 10 or 20 are any good. And I just love to have a small team and try and get some really good horses now and give them everything I can to make them good. Nothing's ever changed for me over the years where, you know, we've had bad seasons, horses have been sick or I train them. It is just literally having the horses. We had a massive surge of nice young horses to run at the time. If I could have them same type horses again, I'm sure I hope it'd all happen all over again. After winning the Stayers in 2020, we had a few difficult years. I think the biggest thing is owners really, because obviously without the owners you haven't got the horses. Well, for years and years I've never had anyone to really spend too much money to buy the type of horses I've wanted to buy. Lack of owners really is where I struggled for a long time.
There wasn't many horses back after Lisnagar won the World Hurdle. But I think every yard goes through their ups and downs, don't they? And I think we're definitely on the up again.
I don't think I've ever lost faith or anything like that or changed anything I've done. You know, I got to a stage a couple of years ago where something had to change in a way where it to really, you know, I wasn't going to keep going year after year with the same scenario happening. You know, you're not getting the horses, you're not getting the type you want. So now I did sit down with one of my good owners, Dave McDermott, and we both said, look, what can we do to improve things? Hence why put a big investment into redoing the gallop so it's a proper deep surface again. They all chipped in and brought a few more young horses. And then the results I've wanted are happening again, and we've got the type of horse I've wanted back in the yard, and it is all just a big knock-on effect, isn't it?
Becky's always hands-on on the yard. She's here every morning with us, getting stuck in like all of us, and then it's just everyone's worked really hard the last 2 or 3 years really, and it's paying off now. I think we've got some really good horses now, which are hopefully going to get us back up to the top. Hopefully,
it's just so nice now that Haiti's actually owned by owners that have been so loyal to me for a long time. It's nice sort of repaying them with that type of thing. A horse like him, and in a horse like him then you get the trust back where, you know, they are spending a bit more money again now and getting the type of horses that I need really going forward. This is Haiti Couleurs. I brought him from Tattersall. I'd watched his video as point to point, didn't actually win, he was second. But I just loved the way he travelled and jumped in that video. Just looked like a real hardy sort of black horse, strutted his stuff around the sails. We had him ready to run in his first hurdle race, and a week before he struck into his tendon schooling, so it was an absolute nightmare. Had to go straight into surgery. We didn't know if he would come sound or even race again, so just really, really lucky. But to be fair, I mean, he's the most soundest horse you could ever train. He's never ever had a problem on it since, so we're just very, very lucky really that he came back from that. And actually, I don't know, maybe having that time off when he did and missing that year might have been the making of him, because he came back so much stronger than he, you know, originally was. So you never know, sometimes these things happen for a reason, I don't know. It just went on an upward curve ever since he won at Aintree Novice Chase. I thought straight away National Hunt Race. I think Sean got off him and said, oh, do you know what, you might make a Welsh National horse one day. It gives me that sort of feel where the further he goes, the better he goes. It was always, an initial thought was the National Hunt Chase for him. We won it with T4 3, and James Conyers was involved with him, so I think it's a race he quite enjoys as well, and he owns half of Haiti, so it's nice for him. From the word go, it just looked sort of so easy for him. Everything's got to go right, but I think from the moment he jumped off and got the leads, you almost knew he was going to win. And I keep saying, watching it, you think, is that it? Is it over? Because it all just happened so smoothly and so easy. I think when you win a race like that, it's not just winning on that day, it's all the hopes of what he might be going forward. So I think that was the excitement in it as well. So when I thought of the Irish National, then I know that's got a real good record for novices in it. It's a great pot, isn't it? And it was just something, I don't know, a little bit out of the box to do, which we sort of enjoy doing. I know I've had plenty of Cheltenham Festival winners. It felt, I don't know, nearly like one of my biggest wins, I would say. Something about being in Ireland, they just absolutely love the racing, don't they, the Irish, and just a big, big race there, and I think there was probably as much, if not more, press that day than having a Cheltenham Festival winner. That was great, amazing day. I think the plan for the end of the season was always going to be either the Gold Cup or the National, or potentially both, so that was always the end plan. It was always going to be a hurdle run to get him ready for something, which went really well in Newbury, which he won. And I think the Betfair Chase just looked tempting then, because there wasn't too many runners in it. But it just didn't work out. He was just unusually quiet. Normally he'd get a little bit sweaty in the box on the way. Didn't do any of that. I put the saddle on that day and he really dipped his back and walked out the saddle and being crabby. And I don't know, he was just completely flat. We got him home, I got the vet in straight away. And he found he had a very sore sacroiliac joint, quite inflamed, so we got that medicated. The Welsh National was I don't know, second thought really then, like where do we go with him now? We don't really want to run him in as a grade 1. We'd always fancied him for a Welsh National, but it was can he do it with that weight? A few people had written him off, he's just the handicap, he's just done that. And so when he, ran the way he did and jumped and travelled, and I think even Sean was surprised, obviously, because he'd only sat with him a month before and had that performance in Haiti. I think he was quite surprised how he bounced back and how he felt that day. And I thought it was an incredible performance to do it with that weight.
This season to win the Welsh National was quite special as well. I'm a Welsh trainer, I'm Welsh, Sean Bowen is Welsh. I mean, that was a really good win for Wales, I think.
For him to bounce back for them, and they've been the best supported ever for me, amazing owners. And for Sean as well, it's one race that he's always wanted to win, the Welsh National. And for Adam as well, he's very, very Welsh. He rides him every day, and all the staff. I mean, everyone loves Haiti, so just for everyone, it was amazing.
I think I'd run on the track before the race was over, so I was running after him, I think. So, and then it was just amazing in the winner's approach after.
The original plan was going to Ireland for the Irish Gold Cup. As it turned out, sort of travel plans didn't work out. We had all that stormy weather. We knew Newbury, the Denman chase, was only a week later, which looked perfect. He's quickened away really easy. He's jumped the last 3 brilliant, like how he normally jumps. And it probably worked out well because I don't think he got an overly hard race because he was sort of idle in front and he didn't act like he had a hard race after. He means everything to me for a small yard to have a horse like him. Just brings so much, doesn't it? You can have 100 winners, but I think it's the horses like him that run in the big races and run well that people actually notice more than number of winners. He just gives everything in every race, and horses like that are hard to find. And I think, I hope he loves what he does as well. I've never wanted to have a massive yard. I just like 25, 30 horses that can have so much attention. Like I know the work that goes into, Haiti Couleurs, just having him how he is, and I can't imagine if you had 100 that you could ever put that sort of attention to detail that goes into him. So for me, because I'm very hands-on, I do all the feeding myself, like the medications, the haying, I couldn't possibly do all that myself with a massive number, and I wouldn't want to. I just want to have a nice small bit of quality team now, and that's what we're trying to build on. My aspiration now is to get more of these quality type horses. I love the 3-mile chasers. They're the type of horse I buy. I think if you look around, you won't see any horse here much smaller than 16'2", 17 hand. They're all big, proper chaser types, the type I love. No, and I do think if I can get the investment in for them type of horses that other trainers are allowed to buy, I think, we could have a lot of really good horses the next few years. Gold Cup type, I know it's hard to win Gold Cups and have them type horses, but they're the type of models and type of horse I want to buy.
Is Newton Tornado in the hands of Dylan Johnston, reaching the final, fence and over safely with a lead of about 8 lengths. It is Newton Tornado who wins.
He's a lovely horse, a horse I've always thought a lot of. He's a very weak backward horse when we've bought him, has improved and improved. And I could see him being, hopefully definitely a national type horse next year, and if he's better than that, or even we all dream of Gold Cups now. But no, he's been a horse that's been a little bit unlucky. You'll see an F and a P in his name, but I think they are little blips. He's on the whole a very, very good jumper. He's nice because he's well able to travel, got a high cruising speed, and he stays really well.
Bond Organisé, very, very prominently ridden the whole way and is stretching away from them in the closing stages. Bond Organisé, another winner here at Chepstow for Rebecca Curtis.
From day one, I've absolutely loved him. Always a little bit backward, but he's really, really matured. We've said from day one he's our next Scalp de Champ, so. But no, that's really, he's a lovely big 3-mile chaser. He was very impressive in his bumper the other day. Stunning looking black horse, very tough. So hopefully he's definitely one for the future.
Keltype is keeping up the gallop here, and he's relentless. A dozen lengths clear. Freddie Gordon, Rebecca Curtis.
Keltype's lovely, again, really big horse. I think he's about 17.2. I bought him as a store, the Doncaster sales. So I've just taken my time with him. He was 4th, first time in a bumper in Chepstow, and then he won really impressively his last run.
Balti Doolin's rallying up the run-in. Swindon Village wins by about 4 lengths because Balti Doolin has run on ever so nicely for second.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. Again, massive horse. We're very light on his feet for a big horse. He's a proper, nice novice stone chaser for next season. Ran well in Newbury, he was staying on second over 2.5. Should be up now to 3 mile. I'm very proud of what I've achieved because, you know, I've started with absolutely zero. We were, you know, 3 old handicappers and a bike shed across there. So, you know, I haven't been given any handouts. Everything that's come here has been from my own success. And I think I work very, very hard, very, very ambitious. And it is consistency, isn't it? And we've had Cheltenham Festival winners, Irish National, Welsh National, Scottish National. No, I am very proud. We've never stopped here. We've, you know, I don't think anything's slacked in that way. So you just got to keep at it, and the wheel keeps turning, and you just got to be confident that it will, you know, happen again, and it has.